Before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to help the channel grow and keep up to date with the latest videos. Hi and welcome to another video by me, FlowJo. Today we're going to be looking at Power Automate Desktop Actions, and we're going to be looking at how to create a list and add items to a list. So firstly we're going to look at the action create list. So create list creates a placeholder variable for a list. So let's say we're creating a names list. We set the variable name in the create list to names. We then don't have anything in the list. We just have names as a placeholder. So we need to add items to the list after creation. So this is where the add item to list action comes in. We can then target the list that we've created, the placeholder that we've previously created, and then add an item to it. So let's firstly take a look at the create list then. So this is what the create list looks like. We're going to ensure that that blue toggle is set to on so that we actually produce a variable. And as you can see there, we've got our name as list, and you can click on this to create your name. So once you've done that and you press save, we're going to then move on to another action, which is the add item to list. At this particular point here, we're going to either hard code or select a variable that we want to add to the list. So for example, I could write FlowJo in there, and we wanted to add FlowJo to a string list, or I could select a variable where I've got dynamic data inserted into that variable and pass it into here, or I could just pass dynamic data straight into here if I wanted to. And then we're going to select the actual list. So previously we had created a list called list. If I then pressed on that little X on the right hand side on the into list section, which is just here, I will then get a list of the variables. I can then select my list and then press save. Now what will happen is whatever is in this add item will then be inserted into that list. Okay, so let's see this in action on Power Automate Desktop. Okay, so we're on Power Automate Desktop now. We're going to expand the variable section, and then we're going to double click on the create new list. And then we're just going to change that to names and press save. So now we've done the part where we're creating a list. We've created a list called names, and you can see over the side it's got names there. And if we double clicked on that, nothing's going to happen because it's just a placeholder. There's no data in it. But now we want to add an item to that list. So if we just either drag or double click on the add item to list, as you can see here, we've got the add item. So let's just put FlowJo, for example. And then we need to select the list. So let's use the little X rather than having to type it and select name. So if we just double click on it, or you can click on it and press select, press save. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to put a breakpoint here and press run. It's initially going to create the list. So if I do run next action, you can see here we've got an empty names list. And then if I do next action, we can see that FlowJo has been added to the list. So if you double click on that, you can see the item. It starts at 0 because it's in an array. But you can see FlowJo is there. So then if we do another one, and we just say Jax, who's my cat, and then we do the list again and save. If we run it again, let's take away the breakpoint and just run it all the way through. You can see that we've added Jax and FlowJo. So we've essentially added 2 items to the list. And that is how you create a list and add items to a list on Power Automate Desktop. Thanks for watching another video by me, FlowJo. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button or select a video on your screen right now to continue learning more about the Power Platform.